What's up, party people? We have some potential huge changes coming to the Lakers front office as well as the actual Lakers roster, all of them being masterminded by none other than the LeBron James. I'm Jaya Tewari with Lakers Digest, and let's get right into it. So first of all, is JJ Redick willing to be tough on LeBron if he gets the Lakers head coaching position? Right now, we are obviously interviewing candidates to fill our head coach position, and it looks like Redick is favored to be the top candidate. So as per The Athletic, the Lakers have identified 3 early head coaching candidates for interviews: LeBron James podcast co-host JJ Redick, Pelicans assistant James Borrego, and Celtics assistant Sam Cassell. To me, the key in this report is that James is expected to play up to 2 more years, so this coach won't exactly be a LeBron hire per se, but more of an Anthony Davis-focused selection. I think that last sentence is a really important thing to note, in that obviously you guys are sick of hearing about this, but LeBron is going to retire within the next 2 years. Not a secret, everybody knows. I made a billion videos on it, sick of mentioning it at this point. But this coach is going to have to, theoretically, be able to coach Anthony Davis and put him into more of a leadership role as LeBron kind of phases out. Again, that is in theory. In practice, will whatever coach we hire actually make it past 2 years? Our past few coaches have not. So I think basing our next head coaching decision off of Anthony Davis would actually be a mistake, considering our tendency to, again, not hold on to coaches very long. And I think we should prioritize a coach that would really be centered around LeBron James. And JJ Redick seems like he would be the best for this position. They have their Mind the Game podcast together. They're clearly friends. And a lot of people have speculated if the podcast has been LeBron's way of kind of grooming him to be the next head coach of the Lakers. But if Redick is to be the next head coach of the Lakers, this brings up another concerning point, at least to NBA execs. That being, will he be willing to scream at LeBron and hold him accountable? One Redick skeptic in Chicago, and to be clear, there are plenty, wondered about his gravitas when it comes to LeBron, or holding LeBron James accountable. Would he scream at LeBron to get back when he was complaining about a foul? The executive wondered. Other executives have also wondered whether Redick would be willing to deal with a group of players who are generally more laid back. So clearly, there's a lot of people not questioning his necessarily basketball IQ, actual on-the-court play planning ability, but more so his interpersonal skills with some of the players, which I think is a fear that's being overblown. Yes, he's friends with LeBron. That is why he's being favored for this position, no doubt about it. But I think Redick would have the ability to get mad at LeBron if needed and call him out on his BS if it comes to that. Obviously, our past coach, Ham, had no problem getting mad at LeBron very publicly if needed, and I really do think that Redick has that ability too. Even though they're friends, if they're having a podcast where they're discussing a lot of things, he's been unafraid to kind of argue with LeBron and take different stances than him on the podcast, and I think that'll carry over to the court. Plus, Redick has played professional basketball. They played in the NBA for so long together, and he knows the importance of not just pushing for one player being the playmaker and kind of the decision maker on the court. The coach is going to be in charge, and I think Redick, having had that prior NBA experience, will recognize that and will make decisions that are right for the Lakers, even if he is besties with LeBron. So I don't know. I do have faith in Redick's ability to do that. So I think this fear might be a bit overblown. I get that it would be Redick's first coaching job, which I think is more of a red flag, or should be more of a concern than his actual friendship with LeBron and his willingness to kind of yell at LeBron if needed. I think that should be more of the fear here, but I don't know. I do think that that Redick would be a great head coach, even though he might have not had that experience yet. I don't know, something about him and just his past experience in the NBA, his basketball IQ and everything, it leads me to believe he would be a great on the coaching staff for the Lakers, especially considering his friendship. Ham lost to the locker room as we got later on in the season, and I think it's going to be really important to have a coach who is friends with the Lakers, since the Lakers locker room is more laid back, as that anonymous exec alluded to. I think it's important that they have a coach that they connect with and feel comfortable speaking up to, because a lot of players did not feel comfortable voicing their opinions to Ham, and instead went straight to the media instead of talking to him directly as the season went on. And so I think having a player that is friends with them is going going to help fix that issue and smooth things over so our dirty laundry doesn't necessarily get aired out and gets worked out behind the scenes before we move forward and have on-court issues. Another concern that has been brought up by former Lakers player, very brief Lakers player, Channing Frye, is that being the Lakers coach is a death sentence. I think he, as in Redick, is jumping on a grenade. As a first-year coach, I wouldn't recommend that job for anybody. So, as a Lakers player, and honestly, anybody in the NBA, anybody who knows anything about the NBA should know, us as Lakers fans, we are unfortunately a little crazy, and we do have a tendency to be very tough on our coaches. I think that all of the hate towards Ham was very warranted this past season. I personally spread a lot of it, but in the past, we've been unnecessarily hard on a lot of coaches. Specifically to me, Frank Vogel, I don't think he deserved the hate that he got. I will disagree with all of Lakers Reddit, all of Lakers Twitter on that front. We should have kept Vogel. He should not have been fired, and I will die on that hill. All of the bad decisions that were made were not his fault. They were Rob Pelinka's. But anyways, I digress. Clearly, Lakers fans have really strong opinions on the Lakers coach, and people are worried that Redick might not be able to handle this heat should he take the Lakers coaching job as his very first coaching gig. But again, I think Redick can handle the heat. I really do think he can step up to meet these expectations that a Lakers coach should be. So I don't know, I got a lot of faith in him just as a player, as friends with LeBron, and yeah. I'm pro JJ Redick personally. I'm looking forward to seeing how this all plays out. And then as for another thing that, of course, LeBron is pulling the strings behind, let's once again talk about Bronny James. So apparently, the Lakers have interviewed him. This is news that was pretty expected, but wasn't official until a few days ago. So, no secret, Lakers are going to try to get Bronny if he stays in the draft, which apparently it looks like he is. According to some Lakers sources, he is looking to stay in the draft because a lot of colleges, if he chooses to transfer to them, are not comfortable with James' level of fame and notoriety. Even if James isn't seeking this fame, he's been distancing himself from his family name recently in the past few weeks. And sources across the NBA and college hoops consider James to have high character and believe he is well adjusted considering he's been in the limelight his whole life. But having James on your roster inevitably leads to more public scrutiny. Many schools will not be interested in James for that reason alone. So, purely based off of his name and just kind of the reputation he has, not based off of his own character, like that little quote said, he seems to have a great personality and be unaffected by the fame that he's gotten just having his last name. Other universities, they don't really want that attention drawn to them by having Bronny on their roster. So because of that, it looks like James is going to stay in the NBA draft. And what does that mean for the Lakers? Well, it seems like they'll be on the draft floor for Bronny James at pick 55, a player the team conducted an interview with in Chicago, according to sources not authorized to publicly discuss draft strategy. So, the Lakers going for Bronny at pick 55 is pretty risky, in my opinion. I think that he will be kind of swapped up by the 55th pick. Apparently, Rich Paul has been going around in the background and trying to dissuade teams and other agents, other managers and coaches from trying to get Bronny first, either to persuade LeBron to sign with their team or just to be a menace to the Lakers. And I think that is a risky bet to kind of rely on Rich Paul's influence behind the scenes and wait until the 55th pick to see if they can get Bronny. I think that they're going to end up doing something else to ensure he lands on the Lakers instead of waiting until that late in the draft. I think they'll just probably offer some ridiculous amount of money to get him after he's drafted by another team because that is too late in the draft to wait for Bronny despite any arguing and who knows what that the Lakers and Rich Paul might be doing behind the scenes. I think it'll be they'll trade for him, or they'll just let him go to another team and not worry about getting him onto the Lakers despite LeBron James's wish. So, that being said, I'm Jaya Tewari with Lakers Digest. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. We post a million Lakers videos every single week. So, again, make sure to subscribe, and I look forward to talking to you guys next time. I'm sure, once again, about Bronny and LeBron and all of the stuff that is happening in this very exciting offseason so far. I'll see you guys next time.